You went to HHN last night, right?
I did. We didn't get a lot done. It was kind of rainy and gross out and made it kind of hard to move around, but we did a decent amount of stuff.
Did you have a good house run?
Jason was kidding. Kind of funny. Dude, one of the guys put his hand on grabbed my shoulder with like a death grip, and I felt like he was trying to crawl into my back as he used me as a shield. He's scared of all the houses. It was pretty funny.
Hello and welcome to the ParkStop podcast, episode 80.
80?
My name is Alicia Stella. Joining me, as always, is my co-host Ian.
Hey kids, that's a lot of numbers.
80. Well, that doesn't even count the other 70 or whatever premium podcasts on Patreon. We're recording this on the anniversary of our first episode. This is our podcast anniversary episode.
Yay! I didn't even know that till yesterday.
It's in my calendar, and I was like, hey, we scheduled a podcast on the anniversary.
Yes.
I don't think that's ever happened before.
So we're at least recording on the anniversary, even though the show isn't out today.
Well, you know what? Don't be a stickler, okay?
I'm not. Okay, fine.
And we're celebrating because it's a very important anniversary, of course. 7 years.
7 years. It doesn't feel like 7 years, to be honest.
In baseball, it's the seventh inning stretch. So I guess we have to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball."
No, we don't.
Take me out to the podcast.
I was gonna say, where's Jen? That's her job. She likes the baseball.
Or in marriage, is that like the 7-year itch or something?
I guess so.
Is that a thing?
I think so.
Oh my God, Jen and I have been married for 7 years. Should I be concerned? I like that we're like, you're like my podcast husband, and
I know.
We've been doing the podcast as long as I've actually been married.
I call you guys the wives when I talk to people. It's just much easier.
I got married a month before, so it's very similar anniversary
crazy.
too.
It's so crazy.
Do you remember our first episode?
I remember I named the ride something like Hagrid's Forest Creature Roundup or something.
Oh, we didn't have a name for it yet, did we?
Did we? No, maybe we didn't.
I think I tacked it onto the title afterward, like a month later when they announced it. We just had a teaser image. They didn't even put out themselves. I think Pottermore put it out. They didn't even put it out themselves.
Yeah, we talked about Hagrid's, and now it's like my favorite ride, one of my favorite rides, if not my favorite.
Yeah,
it's
2018,
crazy.
October 10th, 2018, we put out an episode on the Hagrid coaster. I introduced you as a guest co-host.
And
in
you
that
kept
first
me around
episode.
for some reason.
And then by the second episode, you were just co-host because you were stuck. You're like, I was like, that went well, and now forever.
Without even asking, just like, hey, will you want to come on again?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get to annoy everybody that listens to us.
What's funny is that that was our first conversation. It's not, people think we've been friends forever, but is, you can go back and listen. That's our friendship beginning.
That is literally the start of our friendship.
We just had a couple like private messages back and forth. That's it.
Yep.
Like,
pretty much.
You want to be on a podcast? Sure. That's it. That's the end of list.
Yeah. That's so fun.
But yeah, we talked about the Hagrid coaster. This is back when we did a dedicated news segment for like 10 minutes in the beginning of every episode.
Yeah, that went
Remember
away.
that?
Yeah, that went away.
Yeah, now it's just rambling at the beginning of every episode. Like every other podcast. But yeah, we talked about budget cuts at like Universal and Disney.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That sounds bad.
It was. This is back when like Pizza Rizzo was closing like for months.
Yeah.
And the conservation station, like Rafiki's Planet Watch, was closing for months, and like we were still 2 years out from like COVID closures, so like this was just random budget cuts.
That's craziness.
But yeah, I completely forgot about that until I looked at the description for the episode, and I was like, wow, that takes me back when we used to have a news segment.
Yeah, we don't do that at all anymore. We just kind of talk.
We didn't even come up with an idea. I didn't even tell you what we're going to be talking about in today's episode until we started recording.
Why break tradition?
I at least have notes, and that's mostly so I don't forget anything.
Listen, for those of you out there that think I get blindsided most of the time by what we talk about, so when I do say something that doesn't make any sense, it's because I going off the top of my brain and what I do know. So,
Hey, we've had 2 or 3 episodes over the 80 episode run where I've had notes in advance and we did research. Remember?
yeah, oh yeah, the ones I was forced to do homework on.
It was like Galaxy's Edge. That was
To-
it. End of list.
To be fair, though, you have given me notes ahead of time, and I just don't read them until it's
That's
time
true.
to do the
That's
show.
true. So
You've done
I
that
figure,
before,
why
but not
even
often.
give them to you if you're not going to look at them until we record? I'll just give them to you when we record.
You don't do it that often anyway, but
I wrote them an hour ago, so it's not like you're.
I do want to say, like, doing this show has brought so much cool stuff into my life. I got you and Jen, and now I got a niece, and I got the Parks and everybody that listens to us, and I get to say hi to people I don't know on occasion. It's been really fun. I mean, got to do some experiences. Like, I started going to IAPA and stuff when I got down here. Like, it's been really cool. It's been a fun time.
And IAPA's coming up next month.
I know. I got to figure out what days I want to take off.
Yeah, figure. Well, if you want to do the Legends panel
Of
with
course I
Epic
wanna do it.
Universe, and you got to.
Is that
I think-
Thursdays or Wednesday?
I think it's Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll have to talk after the show.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
For today, though, I thought it might be fun. Well, originally I was like, let's talk about the Universal Orlando Resort's plans over the next 5 years. And then when I started typing, I was like, oh, that's right. Universal hasn't announced anything for the next 5 years. So let's talk about Walt Disney World's plans for the next 5 years. And then we'll compare it to Universal Orlando's secret plans for the next 5 years.
What plans? We don't know anything about.
They're building a roller
plans.
coaster. It's already started.
I don't know what you're talking about. They didn't announce anything.
They had a footer inspection 2 days ago for a roller coaster they haven't announced. It's deja vu all over again.
I know. I was going to say it's another churro stand. Is what's going to happen.
It's another churro stand. I thought this was a popcorn stand.
Oh my gosh.
A
It might
banana
be.
popcorn stand.
Yeah. They're moving that Minions thing over across the street there.
Yeah, it just needs a lot of footers. It's going to be a huge popcorn stand.
Just for all the seats they're going to put in.
It's going to be a
So
very fast and furious popcorn stand.
Ah!
So, yeah, I thought
That
it
was
might
very
be
subtle.
fun. We can breeze through some of the Disney stuff because they announce so much. But
Mhm.
then we can rack our brains trying to figure out what in the world is happening at Universal because they announce so little.
They don't announce nothing.
I have
until it
like
happens.
30 things for Disney World announced and one thing for Universal announced, and it's a refurb. Like at a certain point, I just stopped writing down Disney things. So if we miss anything, it's because there was no more room in the notes.
The scale was getting a little too unbalanced.
But
Oh, man.
I mean, some would say people like, well, Disney's just running to catch up because of Epic Universe opening, and
I don't believe that.
and I would say Universal's running to catch up to have the same number of parks as Disney since it's been
Mhm.
around for 50 years. So tit for tat.
Yes, I mean, I think it is, but I mean, I think the thing that people get wrong is like the direct tit for tat lines. Like, I don't think it's
Yeah.
that. I think they're just competing with each other. So,
Yeah.
of course, they're going to try to one up each other somehow. But yeah,
Well, they're utilizing underutilized areas at Walt Disney World. That's why I don't know, I'm not going to get into it, but you know what? Animation Courtyard it does fit that description quite well.
yeah. I'm glad they're actually going to do something with that area now.
And they're expanding footprints of 2 of the theme parks, three technically. Anyway, let's just. I thought it was interesting this year. What did we get? We got Test Track Redo, which is the best thing Disney's done in a while.
Yeah, it's the best in a long time. It gives me. I made a post the other day about like the nostalgia of like the hopeful future thing that does not seem to exist at Disney for the most part anymore. Not the same anyway, but that really kind of gives me that vibe a little bit. Again, not as much,
Yeah,
but just it did it a little bit.
A little optimism, and not just like Marvel optimism, but real life optimism.
Yeah, actual optimism. Like the future might not be terrible.
So that's a win in my book.
Yeah,
we got
I like
the new
that.
shows at Hollywood Studios, which had to happen. I actually really like the villain show. I think it's the campiest, best, most fun time. It's a romp.
I'm not shocked.
The first time I saw it, I was like, I love Cruella de Vil because I like the remake movie, the live action Cruella. I love it so much. But then I rewatched the villain show at Hollywood Studios.
Mhm.
Captain Hook steals that show.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me either.
He
Actually,
is
I haven't seen it yet. but-
vamping and what do the kids say these days? He is slaying. He is serving. he is all the words that Nene would say if Nene were here. And
I mean that kind of that character that kind of lines up, right? Because he's kind of hammy and
Yeah, and he cares about his
crazy.
like hair and like
Yeah,
his appearance,
yeah,
his vanity. Yeah, no,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
perfect.
Totally. I love it. That's
He
pretty
wears
fun.
frilly shirts.
He's a pirate, of
He's got
course.
the Seinfeld frilly pirate shirt.
It's Calico
Um,
Jack with a hook.
there was a parade. I don't want to get into like parades and too much entertainment that's temporary. Although at Disney World it's not, and they got new bars, which I normally wouldn't mention, but
Bars.
I really do like the Beacon Barrel. I think it's practically an attraction.
How do you feel about Walt Disney World getting alcohol and all that stuff?
I don't care.
Exactly.
I do not care. They've
Exactly.
had wine in the fancy restaurants since the very beginning.
Thank you.
It does not matter to me. It is not. They're not like serving Jello shots in the queues the way the Howling Hornets
Yet.
was in the '90s. It's
Yet.
not that bad.
There's
It's
hope. There's still hope.
they're very strict about you not taking a beverage out of Beacon Barrel though, to the point where I wasn't allowed to take a non-alcoholic beverage out of Beacon Barrel, and I was like, but it's just coconut milk. Like, like it's not that big a deal
You
that I
will
have a.
chug your coconut milk and like it.
It's hard. Those the Moscow Mule glasses, the cups they use that are made
Yeah,
of
yeah.
metal, are so cold.
Yeah.
I can't chug it. It was burning my face. I've never had a drink out of those little copper cups before. I didn't
Really?
realize they're the coldest thing on the planet.
You never had a Moscow Mule or any kind of
No,
mule? Oh,
no.
I'm kind of
And
surprised.
they put the kids drinks are in that thing.
Perfect.
It's dangerous. It's gonna stick to my face like a Christmas story.
Preparing the kids for the future grog.
Yeah. And they kick you out after 45 minutes. So they're like, you have 5 minutes left. And I'm like, I have half of this drink left. It took me 40 minutes to get here. So I took a little straw off the bar and I went gulp, 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 gulp. And I was like, oh, finally, I don't have to touch my lips to it.
That is kind of a complaint I have. Disney tends to make, when they actually do make good bars, they make them tiny and they kick you out.
It's bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, but
it
still,
has more
like-
seating than Oga's, I think.
That's good, but still, like they keep making these small bars that are really cool, and they're like, "Yeah, get out."
Yeah, but because of the rigid time limit, which maybe it won't exist forever, because
Probably
they
not.
actually had a lot of reservations open that day. Because of the rigid timing, I'm able to get a day of reservation, and you can't get that at other places around
Yeah.
Disney World. So I'm not gonna. It doesn't take me that long to eat a piece of cake and have a non-alcoholic drink. So
Yeah, but I mean, you make a lot of money off someone camping out and drinking beer or something.
that's
all day
true.
long,
But
too,
maybe
so.
they don't want that in the Magic
Nah,
Kingdom.
maybe not.
Maybe it's on purpose.
Go to another bar.
You go down. Go down to what's the restaurant from Lady and the Tramp? Tony's. Go to Tony's Town
Yeah,
Square
go to
restaurant
Tony's.
and order yourself a beer. I think they have drinks there. Wait, do they?
I don't know. I've never really had food in there before. We should do that.
Next year there is some new improvements coming to Walt Disney World. I don't know when it's happening. They didn't announce a date, or I'm not good at taking notes. But the new colors coming to Cinderella Castle.
That makes me happy. It's like they're reverting, right?
Yeah, it's like a mix of the new and the old, but it's the best parts of both. So
That's
like
good.
older blue on the turrets on the top, on the towers, and then the old gray in the middle, and they're keeping the gold accents because it's cheaper than repainting them again.
That's fine.
But it's what we said when they redid the castle. Or I like the redo except for the rose gold,
Yeah, I don't like that either.
which just looks like pink. Let's be honest.
It is pink.
So
They just called it that because rose gold was popular at the time.
right, and it kind of faded anyway. So now it looks like even more Pepto pink.
Yeah. Pepto pink. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see the castle. That castle always looked great when I was a kid with those colors. So I'm
Even
good.
when it fades, I feel like it looks like more like a real castle,
Yeah,
even when it's faded.
it just feels better and looks better. So I'm cool with the gold.
Carousel of Progress is getting an update and a Walt Disney animatronic to introduce the show because two reasons. One, ha ha ha, Disneyland, you don't get anything to yourself. And two, they really want to drive home that this show is presented by Walt Disney. Like if you look at it, they like 10 years back or whatever, 15 years back, they changed all the signage to say Walt Disney's
Disney.
Carousel of Progress. The voiceover is like, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. When Walt was designing Carousel of Progress,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
really want to drive home that if you're bored, it's not
It's
our
Walt's
fault.
fault.
It's Walt's fault. They really want you to know,
Here's
even
the
though he had
real
nothing to
Walt.
do with this version and this voiceover and this dialogue, because they redid it years later with
So
the guy
ridiculous.
from A Christmas Story. This has become a very Christmas Story heavy episode already.
What is it?
So,
Gene Shepard, right? That's the
oh
guy
yeah,
from.
I'm
Yeah.
not good with names, but I'm gonna take your word. I think they're gonna redo some dialogue in the final like scene.
Are they gonna redo the final scene at all?
I think they're gonna redo any dialogue that isn't him, because then they'd have to replace John Progress throughout the entire thing, and then we would lose his voice, and I would be very upset about that just because I'm used to it. So you just replace the entire daughter
Unless they
and grandpa.
unless they cross the line and do AI voice.
Don't even Tron Ares your way into this
I
conversation about that.
don't want them to do that, but
Grok posters at the premiere of Tron Ares.
but are they gonna? They're not gonna they're not gonna update any of the final scene from the kind of cringy '90s thing now.
Well, I think that you replace just the dialogue from Grandpa and the daughter, and then you fix
Yeah.
the main two issues, which is like, I bet you didn't even have a car phone.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, we
Yeah.
didn't even have a phone,
Yeah, those
a
kinds of
house
things.
phone. All this laser disc now.
I'm
So
just happy that they're doing something to it because I still like that attraction.
It's going to be interesting to see how they cram in Walt Disney and how much he can talk, because that intro is only like 2 minutes. Like they split the intro load time and the outro load time for one of the scenes time. So
Mhm.
instead of 5 minutes, the intro is only like a minute and a half.
He's gonna stand up and be like, "This is my fault. Go enjoy. Have fun."
Welcome to my park.
Thanks for coming in. Have a seat. We're gonna go now.
Oh God, please just give me Rizzo dressed as Walt Disney. The
Oh.
best like misdirect ever.
How dare you get my hopes up?
The Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress starring the Muppets.
Oh, that would be so fun, actually.
We're not going to make it through this list. Buzz
my
Lightyear Space Ranger
gosh.
Spin is being improved next year. Moving
That's-
on. New missions for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is happening next year. You know what?
That's
I wrote this
Grogu.
down as an improvement, but like that's like making a whole new ride, in my opinion.
Is it? Wait, is that the Grogu one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
I put in parentheses the little S. You see that? I pluralized missions
Mhm.
because it's technically one mission, but you get to choose your final destinations, very much like Horizons.
Horizons.
And the engineers are, I guess they're going to, I don't know how you do majority rules with 2 engineers, but for some reason, the engineers get to help decide where we're going for that last
They're
destination.
like, here, you guys can do something, I guess.
Yeah. So if 2 engineers pick 2 different places, does it randomize which 2 it happens?
It goes to the third place.
You both lose. Take that, engineers. Now take care of Grogu, babysitter.
Oh, that's funny.
I just imagine Grogu's going to be on the engineer screens just being like, it's like Grogu wants eat. And you have to feed it nuggies or something. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Just feeding it.
Don't
like,
give them those ideas.
frog eggs from an endangered.
Oh, that poor thing.
New rides and lands that are coming and have been announced. Of course, we got Zootopia, Better Zoogather opening next month at
You're not
Disney's
excited
Animal
at
Kingdom.
all.
Look, I'm not going to say that I've had a park reservation for the opening day, was November 8th, since the moment it was announced.
Don't you have
I'm
the
not
day
going to
after?
say that I have park reservations for both days of pass holder previews, and I'm not going to say that I possibly have a guest spot with a cast member for cast member previews on Halloween. I'm not going to say those things because I don't want people to think I'm too excited. Just know that I love 3D movies and I appreciate Zootopia's characters.
And bunnies.
Look, let's move on. Magic of Disney Animation is opening in 2026 at Hollywood Studios. Good reuse of a space and bringing back the sorcerer hat, bringing back the animation courtyard, actually having an animation tour in a way that makes sense and utilizes a dead space.
Instead of a hat in the middle of the park blocking the main visual of the park.
Right, and it has like a reason because that's what the entrance to the actual animation studio in Burbank looks like.
I'm good with this stuff. I like this stuff.
Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets, our consolation prize for closing our Muppets area.
I'm still good with that. I think that's a pretty good consolation prize.
People are always saying, and I think even I said it a couple of years ago, that it's not necessarily like it doesn't make sense on paper because the Muppets are like a kid franchise. And here we have a roller coaster that's not necessarily for kids or little kids.
They're from my generation, though.
But the Muppets have always been a little more. This isn't Sesame Street. This is the Muppets. And it also isn't the ABC Muppets, which is too far in the adult direction.
Yeah. No, I mean, my dad liked the Muppets when I was growing up, and he legitimately liked the Muppets because
Right.
there's edgy jokes and stuff in there, but
I mean,
just
their primetime show was for the whole family, and it
hmm
definitely was equally for grown-ups and younger people. Um, so yeah, I'm okay with it. We're getting animatronic Scooter, the probably the repurposed animatronic penguins, and they said more animatronics to be announced later.
look, if New Zealand shows up, that'll make my dad happy.
Is that the one with the bombs?
That's the one with the flying fish. He
Oh,
likes
the
to throw
fish
the boomerang
guy.
fish. Yeah,
The
yeah.
fish guy.
My dad
What?
loved New Zealand.
That's such a weird. Okay.
I know. My dad is weird. Where
I
do you think I
want.
get it from?
I want. Of course, Waldorf and Statler
Yes.
somewhere
I
on the
want them
ride.
to heckle us when we get off the ride.
See, I wanted them to heckle us at the launch
Why can't we have both?
on on a fire escape, and it's like, look, there
Oh,
comes some more of them. Where do they think they're
actually,
going?
it
Hopefully, away from us.
it'd be fine if they were heckling us also in the queue before we board, and then just keep going, and then did it when we got off the ride again. Because I don't think there is a limit to how much heckling I want to hear from
What they need to do is just be like, there's that guy in the goofy mask again.
them.
Sorry, lady. In the queue, of course.
They definitely do. I
What
can't
else was
wait.
there? Oh, these are these are the big heavy hitters now. We got Tropical Americas, probably opening in 2027 when they said it would. We got Monsters Inc. Land. Doesn't say when it's going to open. Maybe
Probably.
2028. Cars themed attractions for Frontierland. Doesn't say when it's going to open. Maybe
What?
2029. Villains themed land at Magic Kingdom. 2030.
So I'm noticing a pattern here. Universal doesn't tell us anything. Disney tells us everything and then doesn't open it on time, like
Well, you
anywhere
can't
near.
open it late if you don't tell us when they're opening it.
Exactly.
So,
I'm not
good
sure
on
which
them.
strategy I like better, though.
Good on them. Like everything up until after Tropical Americas has a date, or at least a year. Monsters
Yeah.
Inc., Cars Rides, Villains Land, no date yet. But they did say all of this was supposed to be done by the end of the decade. So this is the next 5 years of Walt Disney World. And of
Yeah.
course, they're going to have like smaller things and tweaks and changes. I'm sure maybe they'll add another character to the Haunted Mansion that ruins the timeline even further.
Oh.
Because that's what they do in between big attractions.
That still hurts my feelings.
Again, I don't care about the Hatbox Ghost.
I
In fact, I
don't.
don't even look at him anymore. I'm too busy enjoying the
I
original ride around him.
I have not even been on the ride since he got installed, to be honest.
Oh, he's not so bad. It's not that egregious.
I don't know. I see bright red and then bright blue in the pictures of everything,
There's a lot more, I think, that I'm more upset with that are changes over the last, although I'm not upset, but like over the last 15 or so years, the ride has become more and more like Disneyland's version. So
Yeah.
like we lost our portrait gallery, and I'm not upset with the portraits that flash. I'm upset with the flash from the camera bulb. It just really takes me out. I'm trying to enjoy the ride. Like, oh, now I'm blind.
I do like the Escher steps, though. I thought that was cool.
See, those changes are good. The older steps
Yeah.
that are like good for art, because it was just a black void with spider webs that are like black
Yep.
light. I didn't care about that.
No. The Escher steps are good.
Or the glowing eyes on the wallpaper. I think those are good changes.
Yeah, those are good, too.
Anyway, and now
Yeah.
if you look, there's one of the Ghost Rider busts flinches and has an animation, like the
Yeah.
concave busts that follow you when you move past.
hmm
One of them has projection, which doesn't perfectly line up with its face, but
I
that's okay
noticed.
because I'm zooming in on my camera to see it. But the first time I saw it, it scared the heck out of me. I was like, did that bus just wink at me? Like, I've been going on this ride for 30 years, and this is the first time I've seen that one move. And it's a slightly different color because it has projection on it. So I was like, oh no, they're trying to trick me. There was no announcement, no fanfare. Apparently, it's been like this for 2 years.
That's crazy. I mean, it's nice when they do little things like that and don't make a big deal. They just kind of add it and see if people
Yeah.
notice. I like that.
So there's, it's not just a whole bunch of new lands and new rides and new shows, and there's also minor tweaks that it's the Disney difference. It's the Disney
Well,
difference.
that is not the Disney difference.
This is
and you
why
know
I
better.
paid $20 more for my Sorcerer Pass this year than I did last year. Which, by the way, is like 3% less than the increase last year. So I'm only half complaining.
Wait a minute. Would it be like $200 more for annual passes than like 5 years ago or something?
Well, I'm only comparing it to last year because the sticker shock of 5 years will be horrendous. But last
Yes.
year
Yes.
it's 3% increase instead of a 6% increase. See, that's
Oh,
good.
ugh.
You know why? Because they
Why?
know they don't have any giant like rides opening next year.
Yep.
As soon as they have like Tropical Americas and Encanto or Indiana Jones, like then they can raise the funds a little bit.
Oh man. All right. So what are we doing after this?
Well, I wanted to now
Uh huh.
that we're halfway through the episode compare to
Oh,
Universal Orlando's next 5 years plans.
Jurassic Park. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, the River Adventure has a planned closure. And I think this is similar to where we started 80 episodes ago on the podcast because we were talking about things on the horizon. We were talking about they're building a new theme park. We were talking
Hmm.
about the new roller coaster and then another roller coaster on the horizon because they were already permitting demolition of the Triceratops encounter to build a Jurassic Park ride, I thought at the time. Um, so we're in a very similar situation where we see the future, but we have no proof of any of it. Not a
But
single stitch of
to be
evidence.
fair, to those of you that did not believe there was a new park coming, haha.
Yeah, because that was our third episode ever.
Yeah.
Was about the fourth gate. And the
Well,
second
yeah.
episode was about the Jurassic Park coaster. It was actually about all coasters coming to Orlando. There was like
That's
four
so
coasters.
crazy.
So that was a big time happening then in 2018. Like there was a
pretty
lot
cool.
happening all at once.
And now we're back to Jurassic Park, and I'm happy they're actually going to shut this thing down for quite a while and give it some actual love.
Yeah, the only thing that we really have to go on is the planned refurbishment listed on the park hours page for 10 months in 2026. And that's it. They don't say like there's been no fanfare or announcement saying like they're adding dinosaurs, no announcement saying they're changing to Jurassic World like they did in Hollywood. It's just a planned refurbishment.
And hopefully necks are straightened and jaws are corrected at the very least.
I'm hoping that at the very least the raptors are replaced and updated with new dinosaurs. I think that some of the outside ones just need, a little love every once in a while, but like maybe the Ultrasaur needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
But the Stegosaurs look great. They just need patched work every once in a while.
They do.
They're fine.
Yeah, the raptor, especially inside that like control center box thing with the crooked jaw, I always feel so bad for.
He used to lift up. He used to move. He used to
know.
like come at you a little bit. And now he's just, I think they zip tied him to the fence. Like, his head just kind of wobbles like it's broken and he's zip tied. They added more and more fiber optics so you don't notice how dead he is. But
speaking of zip ties, they really need to fix those guys in the Mummy.
What's wrong with the guys in the Mummy?
Their skin on their legs especially are zip tied on.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to look at that. You're supposed to be so scared. You're shielding your eyes from the curse.
Fire.
Yeah. So when the Mummy closed recently and redid its ride control system, I think that's what we're looking at here at River Adventure, which hasn't had a major upgrade since it opened in '99. So like people are like, well, what are they going to do for 10 months? And it's like, I don't know, make the ride good.
All of the things in 10 months is what they're going to do. I'm happy to see they're doing this though. That ride really needs it.
It's the normal closure too. They'll repaint, they'll drain it, they'll fix up the skins and everything. But then at the same time, maybe, upgrade some animatronics and redo the entire. There was a permit for redoing an entire load station and queue area for something in Islands of Adventure, but I don't think it's Jurassic Park. It said they're installing a new scale. And I'm like asking the internet, I'm like, okay, what rides have a scale? Because I don't know if River Adventure does. And people are like, Dr. Doom has a scale. Like, it's interesting to know what rides have scales so they can weigh the people so they know how much force to employ on the launches. But you know what else has a scale? Pteranodon flyers to make sure you don't overload it with too much weight.
Well, that's not nice.
Yeah, when they do Orlando Informer event and the adults can go on Pteranodon flyers, only one adult can go. So during the day, it's one adult and one child. At night, just one adult in the back because it doesn't have enough weight capacity to hold two grown-ups.
That's fine. I don't want to share with another adult when they go on that ride anyway.
Anyway.
I like the next one.
Well, I don't know if this is true or not. These are, again, as we go down this list, it's going to become more and more just I don't know. But these are rumored upcoming refurbishments, things that could be changed, updated, upgraded, and fixed up in the next year or two. And one of them is horror makeup show, which
My
like
love.
the main guts of the show has not changed since the park opened in, was the show around? Well, I guess it had a different name, but it did open in 1990.
Yeah, they changed the film and they changed the ending so far, right?
Right. The main changes they ever do is the montages on the TV get new clips and new focuses, and then the ending, which was the fly pods to begin with, and now it's
Oh,
the mocap suit.
so good. The fly pods are so good.
I know, bring back the fly pods. So I now, if there is talk of a refurbishment for horror makeup, I wonder if it's more so just ripping out the HVAC and like boring stuff like that, like they had to do with Today Cafe and Mel's and stuff,
Yeah.
because all those buildings like haven't been refurbed like down to the bones yet. So that could be a long time. Or maybe we get rid of the Tom Cruise mummy that no one liked, that doesn't need to be that prominent in that theater.
We can do all of the things and give that show some love. I still like that show.
So prediction, horror makeup gets an update.
I don't know many people that don't actually like that show. Like, anyway.
Well, they do they do a good job of throwing to the clips of because the makeup is amazing on the mummy, you know,
it's
Tom
cool to
Cruise. Like
see.
they're showing the woman getting the little tiny like hieroglyphics applied one by one over her whole body. But
Yep.
they throw to the clip and they say, "Anyone see the Tom Cruise mummy movie?" And then she says, "Yeah, no one did, or me neither." Like, and then they show the clips.
Well, they do keep the jokes updated too. Like the shows are never exactly the same. Like they're similar. I mean, they have the same beats they always hit, but the banter changes, which is what I like about the show.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, the
It's
last
so
time I
good.
saw it, they mentioned a current event that was so current it had happened the night before.
That's
I'm
good.
laughing my head off.
That's so good.
Like you have to be really plugged into social media to get that joke. And that's why I appreciate them so much.
Yeah, I love that show.
But the park would be missed if they closed for any amount of time at all. Like, but so that's one possible refurbishment. What else I
Mhm.
got? E.T.
E.T.
Adventure has been rumored to go down for a big refurbishment for years. And it feels like they've done like a compromise where instead of closing it for a very long time, they've been doing small, like overnight refurb stuff,
Mhm.
new effects, new LED lights, getting that car driving again. Just one of them, though, not the Jeep. Got to get that Jeep
Yeah.
driving again. The owl was missing for 6 months, but came back all fixed up. Like they do those minor things. A lot of the animatronics got like redone very well.
That big open room of all of the ETs got some love, like quite a bit of love.
Right now,
at
the
one
drummer
point.
is MIA. I noticed
Yeah.
yesterday, no drummer ET. He's got to come back. But because the drummer ET was missing, I looked down and I
Mhm.
saw an ET hiding in the bushes that I've never seen before. Because I'm too busy looking at the drummer when I was like, "Oh my God, have you always been there, little baby?" Just like hang. It looks like he's gonna fall off of a flower. Like he's just hanging on. He's like, "Help me!" Help. He's like cliffhanger, ET.
Are they going to get rid of your mannequins, you think?
No. They've added a lot of motion to some of these mannequins, like that lady typing in van who is disinterested and doesn't want to stop bikes as they pass by.
Yeah.
Her fingers move really well now. Like it goes clack, 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 clack. She looks over at you like, you're not moving that fast. I could get you, but I'm busy typing my report. So
She's like, this is my job. I type.
the rumor is 2027, ET will close for a very long time. And get a new ride system upgrade because all of the patchwork that they've been doing over the years is not necessarily good enough for it to last. But if this rumor is true, that means that ET is staying around forever.
We're not surprised, though, are we?
Because just like River Adventure, just like Mummy, these types of like year-long whatever upgrades to the ride system means that they're not going anywhere.
Yep.
Or they remove all the ETs and retheme it as Smurfs. Who knows? Who knows?
Please don't wish that on us.
No,
it's ET.
That's an old one. That's
Yeah, I
anyone who's
know.
been paying attention for the last 20 years, that's for you. And then the other refurbishment that people are talking about on the forums now is, of course, Fast and Furious Supercharged is supposedly going to close next year for a year to redo the ride, to reopen.
Can we just burn it and start over?
Well...
Mhm.
Funny you say that.
Yeah.
Because if the next thing we talk about is, in fact, a roller coaster based on Fast and Furious, maybe we don't need Supercharged to reopen as Fast and Furious.
We don't need it to reopen as fast as Furious, even if the roller coaster doesn't open.
Now, here's the thing.
What do you
We
think it's going to
need
be?
more data points for this. We don't necessarily know if this is true, but the rumor is from at least one source on the WTW Magic forums that Back to the Future could be the overlay they introduce for Supercharged. And I say overlay because if the rumor is it's getting a year-long refurb, it hasn't been open like necessarily long enough to do a full, like, River Adventure's been open since 99 and now it's getting a refurb. Does it necessarily need a whole ride system upgrade? No. What it needs is to be replaced with something we like.
Yes. Yeah, please.
So
Please.
Back to the Future as an overlay could be a short-term solution to make sure they still have something people want to ride when ET closes in 2027 and the new, because of course you got the new roller coaster, but that's just replacing the closed roller coaster. And we didn't even talk about it, but if The Simpsons has to close and ET might close, like that's too much like ride capacity down. And right now, let's be honest, Supercharged isn't necessarily packing in the families.
You don't
So
say.
maybe, even if it's temporary, a new ride film based on Back to the Future, and maybe they make it for Hollywood too, is a great stopgap that they don't have to invest too much time building something from scratch because the ride system's already there and you just swap out the ride film. And I don't know, you could say you're in Doc Brown's warehouse. Like you don't even have to retheme
I
it too
know.
much.
You could honestly park me in a dark room and just listening to like Huey Lewis in the news, and it would be better than Fast and Furious Supercharged. So
I think it also could be some kind of test. Like they've done the Fan Fest nights last year or this year
I want
at
those.
Hollywood with the Back to the Future, and it went over very well. Although the backlot people are like, you can't do that next year because it interferes with filming, and it's like, no fair. That was the best part of this event, but it does show the interest in this property.
Yeah, I think people especially of certain generations, would like to see this property back.
And there's, of course, the concept art for the UK theme park that seems to have Courthouse Square in it. So
Yes,
instead of
please.
turning San Francisco into Courthouse Square from the get go, maybe they do an overlay. You put a banner up and it says under new management, Doc Brown. Like, I don't know, you do something not on the cheap, but on the fast,
And
so that we
Furious.
can not just fast. The Fast and Glorious, starring Doc Brown, and you don't have to retheme San Francisco because maybe you do something with Back to the Future. Maybe when the Simpsons contract goes down, you build a whole Courthouse Square over there. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, please.
You build a whole new
How,
purpose-built Back to the Future land
how do you
later.
how do you feel about Simpsons closing if they do that?
I don't know. Like Rick's Flicks, I think, was the first to say he thinks the contract has been renewed for another 5 years. We had talked about on the forums how it's always possible that the two parties could come to an agreement to extend the contract, especially if Disney doesn't have plans to currently build anything at their parks.
Yeah.
And they just like checks coming in.
Yeah.
And then there was that interview in Entertainment Weekly last week where the showrunner for The Simpsons is like, Universal Studios getting rid of the Simpsons property is the biggest mistake Universal could make right now. And then he had to like reiterate, like, I don't have any information or intel. I'm just stating as a fan of the Simpsons in Universal. So
Yeah, I think I'm kind of torn on it because I do like The Simpsons, but it feels a little long in the tooth. Like I kind of want something different there now. Just especially because I don't really want to go on the ride anymore. It's kind of
no,
like meh. Like I think that ride really needs to go.
I don't hate the ride,
I
but
don't
so
either.
many times I've been on it. Well, I don't like to invest 30 minutes in a ride sometimes, and it's dual pre-show kind of takes a long time to get through.
Yeah.
But also, if you go on the ride and then you get a dim bulb and it's already
Yes.
like it ruins it. And then I don't want my once a year Simpsons ride to be dim bulb, so I
Yeah.
just don't go on it for fear that it could suck that time.
Exact same reason, and also the dimmer bowl actually makes me feel a little off. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's like when it's half projected brightness, it feels like gloomy in a nauseating way.
Yes. Yeah. I like The Simpsons. It's just I don't care about that ride anymore, sadly.
It's such a big screen, but there's like an edge preserving like sharpness filter added to it, the way that they did on all the Vivo music videos from 2004. Like it feels like they tried to upres it, but before the day and age when upres was a thing.
Yeah.
So it just looks not great. I like the
Yeah.
animation. I just think that it's ugly looking in the projection style that they currently have it in.
Yeah, there's just I mean there's nothing necessarily if the ride was running at peak, there's nothing necessarily wrong with the ride. I'm just kind of over it. Like it's a second iteration of almost the same thing. Like I'm ready for something else
Did
now.
you see someone on the Discord was saying they changed the dialogue and removed a bunch of lines from the ride?
No,
Maybe a speaker was blown out or something, but like
that's
I
weird.
was making a joke about ramps. I don't even know why. And I was like, Homer Simpson voice, ramp, ramp. And then they're like, oh, did you know they cut that out? And then they named like three other lines that had been cut out of the ride for some
What?
reason. And maybe a speaker was blown out. I don't know. But like that's it. And I did notice at least one line changed. They replaced a line years back. So it's weird that they're tweaking this and not in the ways that would improve the attraction.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, again, I like The Simpsons. I think the ride is fine. I'm just kind of over it, I guess. Like I never really go on it.
Yeah, I know. I like the placemaking of the area more than I do the ride.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we'll see. I have no idea what's going on there, and I feel like if the rumors of a overlay for supercharged are true, that probably means they're worried about ride capacity overall for the park. So maybe Simpsons is going to close and they need to have a replacement for supercharged faster than they normally would take to build a new ride.
Yeah, yeah.
If that makes sense.
That
So
makes sense. Yeah,
that's been my thinking, that if they announce one day like, oh, supercharged is closing for an all new, like, special limited time offering or something, then that tells me they have to rush and that they're closing Simpsons, or it's because ET's closing. I don't know. We could talk about this forever.
yeah. Yes, we could. Okay, what's next?
We should talk about Fast and Furious roller coaster.
Never heard of it. It's
The popcorn
Ghostbusters,
stand.
right? No, just
Ghostbusters.
kidding.
Oh,
I kind of wish it was, but
Ghostbusters overlay for supercharged would go pretty hard.
that would be same ride, just Ghostbusters. I'd be down with that.
We're going on a special ghost tour through the city to see all the spots where the Ghostbusters captured ghosts and saved the city. And they'd be like, and this is a big footprint from when the Statue of Liberty came, and this is the leftover pieces of marshmallow
Hey,
here on
that's
this
my
building.
idea from the other podcast.
Shush, I'm stealing it. and then another giant kaiju like thing happens.
Ooh,
and
kaiju?
the Ghostbusters come and the Ecto-1 comes, and it's just a full-on like Skull Island Fast and Furious type ride in a tram with a good excuse. Welcome
like
to the
this.
Ghost Tour bus.
I would rather do this, but that's okay.
You know what? I like that better than Back to the Future. Let's do this.
I like that.
Universal, give me a call. We're gonna tag team this when we work together, because I stole it from Ian.
No
But
credit for me.
I have story ideas though.
So it's Fast and Furious coaster, right? Right.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing about
It's
this one.
Same manufacturer, right?
Before there was any rumors or inside info or anything being reported or passed around, there was talk of Intamin supplying Universal for both coasts for the same ride. And that was before Hollywood Drift ride was
yeah.
announced. And I was like, oh, I guess we're getting
Yeah.
our own. And I was thinking at first, I was like, because there were permits that were related to the demolition of Fear Factor after they had canceled that VR thing. And I was like, maybe they could put a roller coaster on the other side of the park. And then like a year later, Rocket's closing. And I'm like, oh,
the math is mathing now.
yeah. So this has been on the radar for quite a while. And it's shocking. No, it's not. They haven't announced it yet.
I mean, to be fair though, they did with just by putting that one sign up about the firehouse. There was a lot of people excited for a Ghostbusters roller coaster.
Yeah, oopsie.
So they got some information whether they were intending to or not. So
yeah, the Ghostbusters firehouse, which is just a big hole now with no coaster running through it, being restored just means a coaster won't be running through it anymore.
Yeah,
That's what it means.
Or put that wall back.
Put the Ghostbusters sign back up and make it look good. But then the station for this new ride looks to be to the side of that, at the end of the street.
Yeah. A lot of people got really excited for a Ghostbusters roller coaster, though. I'm just saying, Universal. Just saying.
I mean, the entrance to that station could be routed through the firehouse. It still technically could be a Ghostbusters roller coaster. I would prefer it to be.
Me too. I just don't think it is.
I think every shot of the Ecto One in the new movies, it's drifting. Like it's trying to be. It's so funny because in the original films, it was a hunk of junk and pieces were falling off of it, and in the new films, it's like a superhero vehicle and it's capable of doing anything.
Ghostbusters Orlando Drift.
This is the modern age we live in about movies. We don't have time for that. Let's let's just say part of me hopes it's Ghostbusters as a roller coaster so much that I'm not even discounting the idea. I'm not going to say, oh, it's definitely this. It's just always been Fast and Furious in my mind, so it's hard to delete that.
Yeah, because it probably is, but
I mean, it probably is. Yeah,
I would rather have Ghostbusters too, but
Ghostbusters 2 with Vigo.
No, well, he is Vigo, so
We're on the roller coaster and we are like flies buzzing around his head. The deep cut good for you Ghostbusters 2 fans there.
Didn't we do this in the house last year?
Yes. There is permits and an admission from Universal PR that Lost Continent is receiving work. I mean, Universal just said that they're going to be doing, well, they didn't say demolishing. They just said we will see construction activity in the Lost Continent in the coming months. The permits are very certain about what it is, and it's demolition of Poseidon's Fury building and surrounding areas and restaurants and retail and the backstage pathway. So much being demolished in Lost Continent.
Those that have not been paying attention, how the entire buildings, right? Like the facades, everything, right?
I believe it is the city of Orlando is requesting additional details, so we'll find out if anything gets reserved.
Okay.
But it sounds to me like it's a full demolition of everything on that right side of the walkway. Yep. All the ride buildings and stuff. Well, they're not rides, the show buildings. And we'll see what happens with Mythos. What's funny about Mythos is that some servers, this is all according to comments on my video, so I have no actual information, but like one server said we're closing early next year, but it's just a refurbishment, and then another one said we're closing next year forever, and I'm like, y'all need to tell your team members what's going on. If you're
I mean, they both could be true, right? It could close forever as Mythos and reopen with a refurbishment of a new thing.
That's always been our assumption, is that like Three Broomsticks used to be the Enchanted Oak Tavern.
Yep.
And they kept a lot of infrastructure, even though they had to resurface it all. So I think that maybe it becomes whatever it is for the new land. And again, the way Universal phrased this, the PR, they just said to prepare the area for future attractions. They didn't say they're building future attractions. Like, it could be an empty like pathway and they're embarrassed by all of the buildings being there and they just want it to be empty. And instead of Lost Continent, it could be like Islands of Adventure's Mythos on the map for the next 2 years, for all we know. Like, there's no guarantee they're building a new land immediately after this.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Islands of Adventure's Mythos kind of stands alone.
I like it.
And it's like views overlooking the water. They put a bypass bridge behind it that connects to the bypass bridge, and you don't even walk through Lost Continent anymore. Yeah, bypass to the bypass.
Yeah, but I want the other restaurants to stay too, because I would like those restaurants too.
I do like Fire Eater's Grill.
Yeah, it's really good quick service in there.
Yeah. Well, I think my theory has been Fire Eater's Grill in Mythos stays open longer because all the demolishing stuff is all on the right side.
Yeah.
What else do I have written down?
Epic.
So let's just assume that we got some refurbs happening in 2026. We have a possible new roller coaster opening in 2027. We have a possible overlay for Supercharged opening around the same time. So we got a 2-for-1 deal. We got possible Simpsons replacement, and then Lost Continent replacement. All those projects simultaneously happening at the existing park, the older parks.
Mm-hmm.
And then that brings us to Epic Universe, which has had the most speculation since forever. So as soon as we knew what worlds were going in there in 2019, we were talking about what was next. So after 5+ years of talking about what's next, here we are. And what's next?
More monsters.
I wrote down Project 915 doesn't count. That's just a backstage building that could be for event space, but like it's not actually a new attraction.
So they are. We did see they're doing Christmas stuff, right? In Epic.
They are putting decorations up in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, and Celestial Park, but that's all that's been announced is just decoration. So I feel
Oh,
like next year, maybe the second Christmas,
I want
maybe
dartboard
they can do some event
decorations.
or something. They don't need to necessarily do big events yet, just like they don't need a parade. Now they do need fireworks. They need to get on that. They
Well,
need some fireworks.
yeah, they do. I do wish they were doing something kind of maybe from like a different perspective of the holidays for Darkmoor, like something dark and fun,
I mean,
a
I
little
wouldn't
more
be surprised
grim.
to see surprise walk around characters in at least Celestial Park that are Christmas adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can have Earl the Squirrel in a special like Celestial Park outfit. That
Ooh,
would get me to go.
yeah, Arrow the Squirrel anywhere, you'd be there in front of the line.
Maybe we finally introduce Captain Cacao and he shows up with Earl the Squirrel and they're in a sleigh.
That'd be fun.
The latest chatter for what would come next to Epic Universe has of course been Nintendo or Potter. Like people speculate Nintendo needs something because it has the longest lines. People speculate Potter needs something because it has the dead end over on the right side of the park of the land.
I would honestly say Potter and Darkmoor need more at the most. Nintendo's got like all three attractions. They got a restaurant. I mean, they're it's pretty hopping over there. It's
Yeah, I just need a
like
second bathroom.
yeah, exactly. We could use another bathroom, and that'd be like maybe on the second level.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Just replace that whole inside play area
Yep, we
with
don't
the
need that.
with an indoor bathroom. The I wrote down because I find it interesting. As I was writing this, I was like, you know what? There are trailers being set up behind the Wizarding World.
Yeah, yeah.
There's this area backstage behind the team member services building,
Mm,
and it's called Rico's Ranch.
that's
It's
awesome.
it's I don't know if that's a name that like came with the land, like from Lockheed or something, but they call it Rico's Ranch in all of the permits.
I love it.
And Rico's Ranch right now has a bunch of portable offices, a portable like comm center and server room. And I notice in recent months there's been more permits to add more trailers for contractors and for meeting rooms. And it is directly behind Potter. I mean, there's also a permit to add a trailer for construction work over at that event space. And I
Hmm.
like finally my brain is like, well, wait a minute. What if they're adding a trailer for Potter stuff? And there's been tons of notices of commencement for new businesses, new companies to come in and do design work for at the Epic Universe address. And I'm like,
Interesting.
well, it doesn't say design work. It just says professional services. And they're companies that do design work.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like they design areas for theme parks, they design new rides, they do the drafting, the CAD, that kind of stuff. So maybe they're setting up a trailer back there behind Potter. Now it's also the whole backstage of the park, so they could be doing anything. But I do think that it's possible that they're in the like actual drafting plan phase of something. But I don't think it's going to happen as fast as maybe we had assumed years ago.
Yeah, or hoped.
Yeah.
Hot take though. What if we keep Rico's Ranch and just make it an IP? Because that sounds really fun.
You'd have to travel to the back of Paris to get to Rico's Ranch, though.
That's fine. I can go through there. I mean, it is. There are Fantastic Beasts, right? Why can't Rico's Ranch be part of the Fantastic
That's where
Beasts?
the stairs to nowhere at the back of Paris could go to, the ranch.
Yeah. Rico's Ranch. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Potter has the big restaurant spaces and it's got the ride and lots of stores and more space they could build, like expand or build stuff in, right? For like stores, like smaller things.
Yeah, a
And
couple
but
stores.
they definitely need something at the other end of that.
It would take a lot of weight off of the Battle at the Ministry ride
Yeah.
if there was a new Potter attraction. Or even I've heard someone just suggest that like they could put flat rides back there behind the facades on the right side of the land and at least add some more kid friendly stuff or like build like a 1920s Paris fair, like something, anything to try to
Yeah.
open up that area and add something to that land.
Rico's Ranch with a bunch of mooncalves for me to play with and pet. That's
Moon
fine.
calves at the ranch. Oh,
Yeah,
and
they need to do something. Like I said, Darkmoor and Potter seem to be the ones that need the most, in my opinion.
I do think that something you're probably not used to me saying, but since we're looking at the horizon for the next 5 years,
Oh,
what if
oh,
they're planning to build a new theme park?
Well, we know they have the land for it, right?
They do.
Uh, and they still have enough. We speculated and looked at it. They have enough land for a city walk as well if they rip
They
up the
could.
parking lot. But
I think it's a game of chess where you have to get all of your pieces
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
place before you can, like, you have to change the operations of the area and reorganize things because the parking lot that currently is being used for Epic Universe could be half of a new theme park.
yep.
Um, so
And we
just
know.
today, what?
Wait, and we know they have those two little spots they could also use as parking garages, right? Because they
Right.
have those little
So
just off site.
right, just across the street on
Yeah, yeah,
Epic
yeah.
Boulevard. I think there we might see a bunch of movement, and when we start to see things happening around the satellite parcels, then that might be an indication of something happening. And we are, because there's the West Parcel Mass Grading Project, which was filed with the Water Management South Florida Water Management District. It's this big 53-acre section of land to the west of Epic
Hmm.
Universe off Universal Boulevard. And I don't think they necessarily have plans to build anything here, but they need to grade it. It's just a bunch of trees and grass right now.
Yeah.
And they need to make sure that it doesn't have drainage into Shingle Creek that's bad. The county is requesting, Orange County is requesting more information on exactly what they plan to do with this. So by the end of December, we should know. But one theory I have is that they need this area to be the new staging area because the former staging areas for Epic Universe are across the street from Epic Universe where they might build garages someday. And if you
Hmm.
need to build garages to build a new theme park, you need to move your staging lot down the street. That's my theory. I did notice someone posted and tagged me on social media that the three Monsters Cafe statues are on the move. They were
Yeah,
on
I
a
saw
truck
that.
bed driving away. Those were in that staging area across the street.
Yeah, yeah, I remember because we saw pictures of them there too, right?
Now, that short term could just be because the track is supposed to be delivered this month for the new popcorn stand over at Universal Studios Florida. So if that track is showing up, they had to move out, clear out that staging lot. But maybe when they're done with that, they use that staging lot one last time and then they build parking garages. And if we see that happen, they're
Then,
building a new theme park.
yeah, I was gonna say if we see that, even if we see them laying foundations for what looks like that, that'll definitely
I
be
mean,
a
we will
huge
see a
tip
permit
off.
that says parking. Even if it doesn't say garage, it'll say parking. Like it'll be
So wait.
zoned.
A year after we started speculating about Epic, we're speculating about a sister park for it now.
Well, I mean,
Or
okay.
seven
When we
years, 7 years,
started this podcast
7 years.
7 years ago, we were talking about speculating on a possible new theme park that wouldn't be announced for another year.
Uh
Maybe that's happening again, and we are speculating on a new theme park that won't be
huh.
announced for another year.
Or two.
No, just
If
another year.
okay, we'll do a year.
I
We'll
want
do a
to
year.
be optimistic today,
Okay.
like test track.
So I was excited to have UK to talk about, and now we might have another park to talk about. I mean, to be fair, to be fair,
To be fair,
they do seem to be really pushing hard to compete with the mouse now, with the number of parks and the way they're building attractions and lands. So, like we said, in a way, Celestial Park feels kind of like, because of the music, especially, feels kind of like the music feels like what Epcot music should
yeah.
be. So that kind of thing, like just
And I get
small
sunburned there
subtleties.
just like I do in Epcot.
I'm not saying it's supposed to be an Epcot. I'm just saying like there are little nods to things that kind of has
Yeah.
vibes that are similar to things. So
So yeah, and
yeah.
Islands of Adventure is Animal Kingdom. Let's be honest. They both have the dinosaur section with the ferns imprinted on the ground. They both had
Yeah.
skipper boats that eventually closed a couple years later. Like it's exactly Animal Kingdom.
I mean, Epic's got the bike tires at Potter, so you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say Droid Prince at Galaxy's Edge, but that
Yeah.
doesn't count. I do. It could be a water park. I think they could build a water park. They have to get themselves up to 2 water parks and 4 theme parks. And the order in which they do it doesn't necessarily matter, but it would be a show of force to be like, oh, and we're building a new theme park before they
Yeah.
add that extra water park. And it would be at the detriment to Epic Universe's capacity But I do think that Comcast executives could be sitting in a room, not looking at the struggling lines or the rides closing under lightning at Epic Universe, and say, we're still not the same number of parks as Disney World. Like I could
Yeah,
see
I could
that
see that too.
conversation happening and them pushing off to the back burner expansions at Epic Universe. The way that Volcano Bay still hasn't gotten its expansion,
Yeah.
despite all of the complaints about capacity its first year. So eventually Epic Universe capacity will just level out and the rides will work and people will have to re-ride monsters over and over again until we get something new.
I am trying to picture in my head though. If they do another water park, where do they have land for that? That's not going to encroach on like this epic
They have a
area.
53-acre section of land called the West Parcel Mass Grading Project.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That would be pretty good for a water park.
That's pretty good for a while. I completely forgot about that. I was just thinking in the epic area, like trying to picture the map in my head
It's
because I don't have
about half
anything
the
open.
size of the usable area of the other two parks. So I think we should look up Volcano Bay, but I think Volcano Bay is like maybe a little under 60. It's pretty close.
Yeah, that
Because they make people park elsewhere and they shuttle them in. They
But
could do the
wait,
exact
wait.
same thing at this new water park.
It would make more sense for them to duplicate what they did, right? So if they had 2 garages and 2 parks, and then they build the water park, and you can use the
You
garages
shuttle
for the
them.
water
Yep.
park, you
Yep.
shuttle them. So if they
Yep.
do the park first, that makes more sense on a
I mean, it's
water
only a
park.
mile down the road, and that's like not even, maybe a half mile, and that's exactly what it is from the parking garages to Volcano
Yeah.
Bay right now.
So the math is mathing.
And they already have hotels in between the two, the way that they do over at the current resort. They have the Stella Nova and Terra Luna on the way to the new water park.
You're good.
It's starting to come clear. It's starting to the fuzzy picture is starting to become. I'm just spitballing. I'm just saying.
I mean, you got me all excited now. I'm just trying to like hold it back because I don't really want to have. It was so fun to talk about one park and to be like it was such a fun thing to do to watch that.
I mean, maybe that's part of it that I miss talking about Epic Universe construction and I want them to build a new theme park.
But the math is mathin' though. You know what I mean?
I
do.
Is. I do think that just being, even if it's years away from breaking ground, just being able to say, we're building our 4th dry theme park, and we're not stopping now. Or after Epic Universe, the growth of our resort will continue until we have the same as Disney World. Like I could see them not so much saying exactly that, but pretty close.
I mean, driving over there too, passing the hotels and seeing all that like empty space that you can actually see, like it just now you really got my brain going because I would not expect them to be doing this, but it kind of makes sense now.
But we can't get our hopes up too much though, because
that's what I'm saying.
Even in the mid-90s, when they were building Islands of Adventure, they announced plans for their next theme park and golf courses and resort down where Epic Universe is now. And then that parent company sold all that land off. So even if they announced all this stuff happening, you never know.
That's true.
The world is a fickle place.
That's true, but Comcast really seems to be like, oh, we like theme park money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, so far.
They seem to really enjoy that.
Well, we'll see. I don't know what the return on investment for Epic has been like. If the numbers are good and they're happy enough not to let annual pass holders in yet, so they must be doing something right with ticket sales.
Yeah.
Then maybe, yeah, if they can project out enough profit from Epic, then I can see them greenlighting something else. And this wouldn't even be like a local decision. I do think it was a Comcast theme park war decision. I really do.
Yeah, and you know what though? The more I think about it too, because that parking lot we got in Epic was supposed to have like moving walkways and stuff originally, right? And they just cheaped it all out.
I don't know if it was going to. I mean, that would be nice.
It seems like they should have. It seemed like it was covered.
Oh,
or something
I see what you're saying. Instead of trams or a moving walkway, they knew they're only going to last 5 years anyway.
Yeah, so it'd be a temporary parking lot for them, potentially. You know? Yeah. So they were like, whatever, it's not going to be here forever, so we'll just do whatever.
See, I was thinking it'd be like a minimum 10 years, but if it's only like 4, then you definitely don't need to be putting, infrastructure and electricity down the center.
Yeah, especially if you're going to do parking garages sooner than the other park is even around, just to start preparing for stuff.
Yeah, I imagine they would build one parking garage, close half the parking lot, and start work on a next theme park, and then do the other one while they're doing it.
I really, as much as like sometimes it's annoying to make that walk from the parking garages to the parks, I really do appreciate the parking garages for the cover alone, because my truck is not dying when I get back to it.
Unless you're on the roof.
Yeah,
which half the roof on one of the garages is like Uber pickup, so at least that takes away some of
Yeah,
our
it's
opportunities.
messy up there too. I've driven up there
Oh.
kind of recently. It's horrible driving up there.
See,
Yeah,
Epic had that from the start. They changed the plans 2 years in and made a really good Uber Lyft drop off area.
yeah. I don't know if I'm seeing stuff I want to see now, but like just because I would like to do another park and see a new park for Universal. But yeah, now I'm excited, but trying not to be.
Well, let's be real here. This is just our anniversary special episode, and I wanted to end on a high note. So let's just pretend that it's happening and get excited.
We're just duplicating 7 years ago, and you're gonna make me all excited again. And it's
Every 7 years.
I just hope it's real.
Well, even if it's not, we have demolition of Lost Continent, construction of a new roller coaster.
UK. I'm excited to talk
the
about
entire UK project getting off the ground, and Jurassic Park River Adventure is going to be all shiny and new, and then a ton of Disney World new rides and new lands to look forward to. So it's a great time to be a theme park fan in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, another gate. That sounds fun.
Eventually they'll let pass holders upgrade to include Epic Universe. And then,
January?
At this point, I'm like trying not to get my hopes up for January just in case.
Listen, if it's a really nice day out, I would just hang out in the park and barely do anything. And be happy.
Know.
That
that's why I'm sad.
So cool.
I want to go while it's cool. It's supposed to get cool in like 2 weeks or whatever, and I want to be at Epic Universe when it's cold and wear my fuzzy Captain Cacao hat.
Besides the rain last night, it was actually really nice out for quite a while. I mean, it wasn't bad.
That's nice.
It was nice. Yeah, it was. We weren't melting like when we do RIP.
Right. Yeah. New rides. Woo!
Just don't stop working on Epic because some of those lands need some love too. But
eventually they'll fix.
You can bring me in, and you can bring me another.
Volcano Bay's been open for only 8 years, and it might get an addition next year, maybe.
What if the new park is a half copy of the UK park or something?
I mean, it's certainly possible, but can it be the good half?
Then we get to deal with more Lord of the Rings speculation.
Oh, it will never end. Jar. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.